Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy.
I'm Casey.
And for your, educational purposes and pleasure, we will be presenting the next episode of Banghead History. So, what are we talking about here this week?
Today, since its relevancy, recently Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and I thought we might learn something about the original Roe versus Wade case.
Okay, that's actually good because I know literally nothing about that.
So, basically, Roe v. Wade in general, or in short, it was a case decided in 1973 that basically said that state regulation of abortion is unconstitutional and that it violated a woman's constitutional right to privacy. That is basically what the law states. It basically states that that states cannot regulate.
Okay, I kind of see the general concept.
Right.
There.
So basically,
it's a federal thing, not a state.
Right. So basically, federally, they're saying that a state cannot regulate abortion, but
okay.
it did have some overlying things to regulate it by itself through the federal government. It basically took states' powers away and gave it to the federal government.
Okay. Well, I mean, my first question, and I'm not sure you know the answer to this, why didn't they amend the Constitution at this point in time?
They're never going to get one side or another any amendment to the Constitution.
Yes,
on almost any subject
whatsoever. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Right. It would have to be like a major issue that affect both political parties and the country in general, in unison, for a constitutional amendment to be done.
Passed.
Yeah, passed. All right, so let's get to the case here.
All right.
Fact number 1: Jane Roe, whom the case was named after, was a 22-year-old woman whose actual name was Norma McCorvey.
So her name wasn't actually Roe?
No. Jane Roe is a court alias or pseudonym, which was meant to protect her privacy.
Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, did not know that.
So, Wade, this is fact number 2. Henry Wade was the district attorney in Dallas County, who, as well as prosecuting this case, was also won the conviction of Jack Ruby, who murdered Lee Harvey Oswald, who is known to have assassinated John F. Kennedy.
Supposedly.
Now, I said it.
Supposedly.
I said it in that way on purpose. Is known to have murdered John F. Kennedy because, first of all, that case was actually never tried.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they never tried that case.
But they had congressional hearings on it.
Right. Fact number 3. Jane Roe, who is Norma McCorvey, never had the abortion that she was seeking. So, this baby was born. It was known as the Roe baby, and it was adopted. And her name is Shelley Lynn Thornton, and is now a mother of 3.
Okay.
Any comments?
I mean, what do you want me to say?
I don't know.
You blasting everyone's name out there.
Well, this is all public information. This is
okay.
I didn't really have to dig very hard to find all this information.
There you go. You heard it here first. Public knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. Fact number 4. Though Norma McCorvey, or Jane Roe, was a pro-choice activist, she stated she only did so because she was paid to. Later on, she became a pro-life activist, and during her time, while she was a pro-life activist, she stated, "It's a lot harder to be on this side because you gotta act like you care, but I don't really give a shit."
Is that a quote?
Yes.
Wow.
In quotes, it said.
So hold on. She doesn't care about the whole.
No, she did not. She never cared.
Abortion issue in general.
Right, and she was also paid. She was also paid to be a pro-lifer.
Do we know how much she was paid?
We don't know that.
Okay.
But basically, she's an opportunist. She didn't really care one way or the other about abortion or pro-life. But she was paid by both sides at different times to be an activist for their side.
Oh, all right. Double dipping.
Correct.
Gotcha. Hey, if you can collect a paycheck,
Right.
so be it.
Right. Fact number 5. The trial was decided on women's constitutional right of privacy, which falls under the 14th Amendment. It states, "Nor shall any state deprive any persons of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law."
Can you say that again?
Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law.
Okay, and that is the 14th Amendment?
That is within the 14th Amendment.
That is in the Bill of Rights was only the first 10 right. amendments to the Constitution. But 14, whatever, it's still an amendment to the Constitution.
Correct.
Life, liberty, say that last second half again.
Life, liberty, or property without the due process of law.
Okay, well, that brings up the question of when does life start, which is
exactly which is the underlying factory,
right?
Or factory, the factor of this
the
entire
baby
thing,
factory,
right?
Maybe.
So when does that life become viable, and that is part of that is at that point life and has rights within its own.
Right. Yeah. When? That's
right.
That's the moral question, realistically.
Right. So.
What do you?
I'm not going to state my opinion one way or the other because.
Well, I know you're a pro-lifer.
I'm not really a pro-lifer. I do believe that that would. It's a complicated answer. And I could come off as a very cold person if I stated my full belief.
Look, I'm on the same page as Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Right.
I believe it was stated in the movie Dogma. A woman's body is her own fucking business. I have no opinion on this issue.
Right, but if there's a life in the body,
I have
that's a
no
question.
opinion on this issue.
So my I don't really have a moral side to whichever is on to whichever side I'm on. I have more of a technical idea personally in my mind.
Go on.
I do believe that when there's a heartbeat, it becomes life, and that's basically how. That's basically
okay.
my mind, my thought process. Anyways, moving on to the final fact number 6. Roe versus Wade created a framework to govern abortion regulation based on trimesters of pregnancy. In the first trimester, so this is under federal law, in the first trimester it allowed almost no regulations. In the second trimester, it allowed regulations to protect women's health. In the third trimester, it allowed states to ban abortions so long as exceptions were made to protect the life and health of the mother. So it gave a framework in which the states could or could not regulate abortions.
Okay, that's fair. Like I said, this is one of those issues that I just do not really have an opinion on.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not a hill I'm worth dying on. I don't really care. I do not. First of all, I do not think it is just a woman's decision on this matter. They can do with their body whatever they want, but there's two people involved in creating a child.
Right.
So that kind of goes out there.
Let's be honest. The woman has to bear the brunt of the work.
They do.
And have to take risk their personal health. See, I mean, this is why I just want to stay out of this one.
Right. I am under the
A
view.
woman's body is their own fucking business.
I am under the view that yes, I do believe a woman's body is their own business, but when it comes to conceiving a child, it takes two people, and two people get the opportunity to make the decision on what happens to the child after conception.
Yeah, well, I mean, ideally that would be how it works.
That
But
their body is now a shared.
okay.
When it comes to the life that's being created within them, and not shared by two people, shared by three people: the father, the mother, and the child.
After it has a heartbeat.
After it has a heartbeat.
There you go. You heard it here first. Yeah, like I said, this is a touchy issue for a lot of people. Obviously, we will be delving into the Supreme Court ruling here later on. But there we go, Baghead history.
This will be after the.
No, it'll be
Where are you putting
literally
it now?
right before,
Oh, okay. All right.
because of our release schedule
Okay.
and everything.
I got you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that will be Baghead history. Talking about the Roe v. Wade, the original OG case. Literally, I knew nothing about that going in.
Right.
So, thank you for putting that together. Now that I am informed about that particular case. Ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And hopefully everyone out there watching learned something.